Did he say Geronimo? Say Geronimo. How we going tonight, team? How is your morale tonight? If you're in a position where you can listen to this, then maybe something will ring true to you. We'll just wait for the first people to jump on. If you're not on here live tonight, I'm accusing you of watching Big Brother. Rando Vidos. Great to have you here, mate. Good to have you here on this Tuesday night. We've got the lovely Fleetwood Mac / Katie Baker. G'day, mate. High on life, not on the devil's cabbage, I hope. We've got Dark Wars. We've got, g'day, mate. We've got Dave D, the man of double D. Stand fast. Queen's birthday yesterday. I hope you did something for it, mate. I think she's the longest full-time working woman in history that you never hear feminists talking about. Well done, Queen. Elizabeth. We've got the bullfrog, Riddip. We've got Dan B. We've got the toad, which is just below the bullfrog, very similar. Emma C. G'day, mate. We've got Woody there. We've got the proud Australian, aren't we all? Well, I hope so. We've got Midway. We've got Anthony Youngson. Good to have you here. And we've got Yonis, one of my favourite Muslims. How you going, matey? Allah Akbar to you and your family. We've got the Full Metal Jacket. We've got the Guardian. We've got Trip Snips. Dave D, is that double denim, Kaz? No, it's not. This is denim. This is very, what would we call it? Not trying to insult our resident Islamic people, but I'm wearing the Kevin Bacon orientated jacket today. I bought, but you can't wear it with denim pants unless you're a lady, of course. So I'm wearing the cargos. We've got Demo Heads. G'day, mate. How you going? We've got Coloured. Good to have you here. Red Panda. Pandas of colour. Good to have you here as well. It's been a while. We've got the Explorer Sock. We've got the Guardian 27. We've got Minty Fresh. Brody, the athlete. We will determine that. We've got Joshy G. G'day, Kaz. At Singo at the moment. Fantastic. You're about to have the shutdown, the COVID shutdown, pull away, and you'll be down at Newcastle soon. Don't tell anyone, though. Honeycomb Hotel on the water. That is where you need to go. Honeysuckle Hotel, sorry. Don't tell anyone else. It's just you. The music's good. The food's good. The view is good. The people are good. And there's plenty of room there for you to be able to do your skill at getting the girl of your dreams until the right one comes along. Does that make sense? We've got Joshy G. We've got Brock Stevens. Good to have you here, mate. Peter Brock. We've got Ben Pollock. Train. Whoop, whoop. Kuru. Kura. Not Kuru. That's you get that from eating people. We've got Stoddy the Medic. G'day, Kaz and team. We've got Leroy Majors and the lovely Madison just above with Giuliano Sticker. And we've got Charlie Lawless. Okay, we're talking about Lawless tonight, actually. And we're going to, hey, dude, love to all the veterans. Thanks, man, and love back to you. If this is your first time here, and I'm not talking about Snowy, who's just below, you need to subscribe to this channel. This is your forever channel. This is the Australian voice for you. This is where you get to come in and you get to throw a question out there, throw a vibe out there, and either myself or the chat or those in blue, the moderators, tried and tested, will help you navigate your way through whatever options you may have to a better version of you. So do that. Subscribe to the channel. Tick the bell. Colette, she'll ring your bell. Do we have any of our Navy here? Is there any of the Canberra? Is there any of the Albatross? Prashant, my eyes are getting worse and worse, team. We've got Kane Higgins from Mackay. We've got Madison there. Hey, Kaz, just got another enlistment date. Nutsu Cow. That's my first ever denim-orientated Nutsu Cow, and it goes out to Madison, the lady of Madison County. Madison, I just got another enlistment date, 29th of June. That's very soon until you diddy mow out of this village, my dear. I just have to redo my assessment day in PFA. That's normal. Next Tuesday, as it's run out now. Just worried for psych test again. Oh, I can't give any tips on psych because I'm a bit of a nut on myself and got withdrawn from the army medically because of my PTSD, moral injuries, etc. So people that have a laugh if you come to me for a bit of sanity, Madison, just be you and honest answers and you'll be fine, my dear. We got the lovely Lauren. I tried to get in touch with you before just to see if you were going to be on tonight or whether you're going to be watching Big Brother. I watched it last night. That's a collection of freaks right there. Not bad people. But we're going to be talking about today, Mr. D. Gray, Stoddy, Lauren, Dave, Joshua G, Train, Prashant, Cody, Jay Hayes. Oh, Western Sydney is where I am. Western Australia is where he is. That is West Side, not cerebral palsy. And thank you very much for the donation, Madison. You know, if you want to have a chat, let's have a chat offline and we'll sort that one out, but you're going to be fine. Tonight is all about do not ruin your life. Don't prevent yourself from having a fantastic life by getting caught in the passionate fights that only give you a partial truth. Now, what we're talking about is the USA. What we're talking about is Australia. What we're talking about is the one-sided voice that is begging you to come and assist, but doesn't give a shit about you, but just wants you to turn up there. And if you do, you'll have no excuse because you're either breaking quarantine, because you're out at the same time. No one cares if you're a writer or a protester. There's no real difference because you've been told not to do it. Not to do it. Make sure you have all the facts. I've fought for the wrong causes too many times, then found out the whole answer. What has this led to? It's led to a craziness where, and why am I saying this? Because I'm concerned. I'm concerned about our youth that are so quickly matching the petrol, combustible for the wrong reason. This was the wrong reason. Everyone with George Floyd agrees. What happened to George Floyd was an absolute tragedy. But also to that, the justice was immediate with those police. What you need to understand is those police, we've got to be very careful that those that go in there for Constable, I'll call him that, Constable, Officer Teo, who was watching on guarding the crowd, had his back to where the crime was going on, to the policeman that was on the illegal subduing of George Floyd, to those that were present, to the paramedic that did nothing to preserve life. All of those people are getting held accountable. But the court system's going to look at those people, and if they push for an overreach of what the crime could be, that will be a dismissal, thrown out of the court, and then what you're going to see is an insane backlash response because of the situation. That's why you're not going to see first-degree murder. That's why you're not going to necessarily see second-degree. You're probably going to see manslaughter. Because if they go too high and they can't prove the points, then that will be a mistrial. No one will go to jail. And this happens all the time when people go for a crime and then realise they haven't got a strong enough case. So let's see the way it comes undone. I'm just going to talk for a second here, team, and then I'll be onto the audience here, the chat. Now, what concerns me is this cry to arms, to come out and stay beyond curfews. Those police helicopters aren't circling around in Australia or in the USA or in France or in England for no reason. Technology means there is no escape for you today. Whether you're out after hours, they can see what you put on Facebook. They can see what you put on Instagram that says that you were there. They can see through the cameras, facial recognition. That person was there on that time. And we saw that with Jake Paul, who's just now been caught in the situation looting inside a Macy's or something, where he's in more shit than you can poke a stick at. We're seeing people that have promising futures who are caught up in the moment, who go for the adventure, something exciting, and then they go to where the maelstrom of the problem is for the right reason or the wrong reason. But it only ever pans out bad. But the danger is not necessarily at the flashpoint. The danger is when you go home. You've already been captured on camera. You could be accosted by those that are out there for the wrong reasons. Nothing good comes from mob mentality, mob rule, peer pressure. So don't dash your chances of having a good life, of ever being able to go overseas, of ever being able to have a visa to travel once the world opens up, because you've been attached to criminal intent or criminal actions, despite the fact you didn't have intent. There has been more than 30 murders. Do you think that George Floyd would have been happy to know that there's been more than 30 murders, and a lot of it has been black on black, in the name of Black Lives Matter? It doesn't make sense to me at all. It is a smokescreen for criminal activity. That's what it is. And what we're seeing is something very, very scary at the moment in Minnesota, in New York, and Los Angeles. We're actively seeing people asking for the defunding of police force. What the hell are they talking about? And when you look at the statistics that they're talking about, it does not wash out. If the BLM was so good at what they did, why aren't they in Chicago? Why aren't they in Los Angeles? Why aren't they in the gangland areas having a go at their own people to do all the killing? You can't get angry at one and not the other. Clean up your own backyard. Use your people. Walk the streets. Tell people we're going to be out tonight. Imagine if they had 1 million people that went through Detroit, went through Chicago, went through Illinois, went through some of those areas and said, team, shit has got to stop. Bring the police with you with the march and say to them, we're going to work together. We're going to start naming names. We're going to cut out the rot. Let's make our place a better place. Everyone is greenie orientated, but no one picks up litter. We're becoming nations where we don't tell the truth. We tell portions of the truth, but we're becoming people that talk with no action to back it up. And that's a little bit irrelevant because I just said that don't go out and protest. And I don't mean go and protest, but there's ways to do things, and this is not going to work. And as a matter of fact, there is so thumbs down, guy. Hi, everyone. It's me. How you going, mate? There is shit going down all over this world. The Congo has now got Ebola again. We are seeing that the world turns back on an issue and then lets it flare up again. People telling people to say sorry, to get on their knees, to say sorry. You're going, what the hell? If you've done nothing to anyone in your life, regardless of color, creed, religion, or sex, you've got nothing to say sorry about. You can't say sorry for what people did before you were born. I've said this to other people. So are we to say to a hypothetically, hi, Albatross, how you going, mate? Big Eyes, there you go. Big Eye 6. Hey, Kaz Albatross here. I'm wearing denim just for you, mate. Just for you. Because of you. So what was it talking about? Stoddy. Black Lives Matter is only rage and protest when the black person is killed by a different colour. None of those Aussie BLM protesters have protested about the violence in Alice Springs. All right. JC, wiser words have never been spoken. Imagine this. Imagine this. And I want to say this one for Lauren because we've spoken about this before. Imagine if you were a 2-year-old girl who is being born right now in Germany. Is she already guilty of World War II? What has she done to anyone other than be born, be beautiful, be innocent? She's a kid. It is time to draw a line on the ground, in the sand, and say, I will treat every single person, regardless of anything about them. I will treat them like my brother and sister until they prove otherwise. And at the moment, we're seeing people prove otherwise. People throwing bricks at police's heads. We're seeing people attacking people with sticks and clubs. We're seeing men attacking women. Where's the feminist voice? Crickets, crickets. All of the lefties are going, I can't see this. And ironically, the buildings that aren't being destroyed, there's no security there. What's it called? The anarchists. Wear the mask all the time. Help us out, team. Who are we talking about? What are they called? The group. Oh, Jesus. I talk about them 100 times a day, Toad. What are they called? The group. Antifa. Thank you very much. Who we got there? Hugh Richard Phillips. 3 names there. It always makes people sound important. Antifa. There's no security out front of their office. Not smashed. This is a one-way valve. And what you may not realize is this is not a majority across America. It's not. There is like, I think it's 86 or 84% are saying, what is this bullshit going on? Look at them all down there. It looks like you're chanting for them. Treat people the way they treat you. Treat people the way they treat others. But the whole point, the message for tonight is don't burn your future by getting wrapped up in something exciting today. I am lucky. I am lucky. We've got so many people down here that are lucky, that have done things wrong in their past. And the difference between me and you and some of the people that are incarcerated is we don't get caught. They did. A mathematical equation, not necessarily IQ related. I'm not sharp. Okay? So please don't stunt your future by something that is in the moment now. Don't let your friends get involved in something that is going to affect them for the rest of their life. Don't let your children get infected by the rage. Look out for your brother. Treat your family, treat your friends like pit partners. You wouldn't let them do it. You know, if you loved them, pull them back. And if it needs forcing, do so. Okay. Just be careful, team. All right. This is a short life, but it's a long life if you stuff it. Try to put that fart back in the arsehole can be a difficult thing, as we've said before. All right. We've got Corey Jones there. What's up? Antifa and the Nazi party rebooted. Yeah, it's weird that people telling you what you can't say are calling other people fascists. It doesn't make sense to me while they wear a mask. At least they wore it for COVID, which doesn't seem to exist if there's something going on. And we always know the people that you can't talk about, you can't tell the truth about, are the ones that ultimately rule you, aren't they? Corey Jones, what's up? The Australian dollar's getting back up, which is good to see. We've got D Gray there. G'day, Kaz. Just wondering how the army takes epilepsy not well and how they can impact the range of roles I can choose. D, Mr. Gray, I don't know if you can have any role when you've got epilepsy, because every soldier, has the role of soldier first, then they're specialized second, which means we can't necessarily have someone with epilepsy handling live rounds with weapons in an operational environment where everything is being pushed to the limits. So, mate, it'll be a one-on-one case where you'll speak at the assessment stage. They will talk to you, and that's where you'll find the final answer, whether it's come in, young man, red carpet, okay, carpet of color, so to speak, or whether it's, I'm sorry, mate, you're going to have to look for something else. And they're looking after you, and they've got a right to look after everyone else that's in the military by making sure they've got the best side. And I am sorry for you that you have that situation. My sister died of epilepsy, and her twin, Lisa, has so my sister that passed away, his name is Trina. God bless her soul. She was a lovely kid. And my other sister, Lisa, has got the same thing because she's an identical twin. It's a shitty thing. If you don't take your medicine, it can be a very dangerous ailment to have. So sorry about that, mate. Mason, it's been really hectic here in the States. Speaking of here in the States, have you ever seen anything from anyone doing the overseas lateral recruiting process Australia does? Was in the USMC trying to go Army. Now, Mason, well done for being in the USMC, mate. I've done a lot of exchanges with the USMC over in Hawaii, Kaneohe Bay. If you go to the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment, guys and gals, that is the battalion most likely to go and do exchanges in Gold Eagle over to the States for that. Mate, the best way you can do that, hate to say, is that you need to come to Australia, make yourself not necessarily a citizen, but a resident for at least a year, just like it would be if we have to go to you, because our armies don't have very similar transferable skill sets, drills, etc. And then from there, just look into it. I am sure that you could ring recruiting in Australia and you could speak to them. We understand American, and let us know how it goes. And Adroy Nutsu Cow, all the best with that. I found you guys were real stand-up guys. I love competing against you, and these are valuable to have, and I'm sure your skill set would be really welcome here. You weird talking fuckers. Okay, Lauren is shining. Indeed, Tate, we really appreciate a thumbs up. We do. Thumbs up if you can, team. As we know, some of the subjects we've even spoken about tonight aren't necessarily tolerated by the left, and therefore, if the microphone here, which I won't say its colour, decides to play up, we know that's because of what happens when we talk about controversial subjects. Glad to be back for another stream, says Peter cramming it in. Bloody love this community, and we love you too, Peter, Pan, Cram. We've got Yanni's here. It's all Alex Jones. I'm not Alex. I know what happens to the frogs. They turn gay. Nathan Dunning, great advice. The bullfrog, Kaz for PM. I doubt it, mate. Honestly, I speak the truth, and that allows me to walk in safety. If there's nothing worse than living a lie, because if you live a lie, you can get caught out. And that's what we see on the left. No one survives the left. They all end up attacking each other. They all end up barbecuing each other's lives. And then when they come over to the right with egg on their face, you can't lay on lounges. The dog will just lick it. But, yeah, well, that was kind of Dad's joke. Lauren is shining. We love you being here, Peter Cram. We do. We love all you guys and gals being here because the conversations we have here is something that you can take away and talk about someone tomorrow and go, you know what? I don't agree with what's going on at the moment. I think there is better ways to do it. Defunding the police. What a stupid idea that would be. Who's going to do it? Look what's happening now. The people that are saying to have the defunding of the police are the same places that are throwing bricks in the faces of police, that are burning their shops down, and attacking people and murdering people, and running around like bloody savages. Are they the people that are going to be policing the streets? Are they going to be the ones disarming? Are they going to turn up when you call and say, someone help me now? No, they're not. They're probably going to be the ones doing it. Yeah. I would not want my hand to be getting protected by the left, that's for sure. Thumbs down, guy. Hey, Kaz, going 343 in August. That's a beautiful time. Thumbs down, guy. That is arguably the best time that you can join the military. The reason is it's beautiful and cool, but not freezing cold to do your training. And then you'll be in Singleton and then get sent home at Christmas and then come back after dodging the bullshit that happens in January, normally from the 17th of January onwards, as you come back to work. So you'll miss all that. Well done. What a strategic move you've done already, thumbs down, guy. Life would be boring if we never have a thumbs down every now and then. One day we're going to have a thumbs down stream where everyone just put a thumbs down up there. Declan, okay, I came at a weird time. No, mate, not at all. Now let us know what you think there, mate. Yanni's 69 views. Thanks, mate. Santa Claus. Life would be boring without you, mate. I wish I could grow a beard like that. You know what they say about a man that can't grow a beard? That means the kid's got two mums. Aussie car guy. Fart back in the arsehole. There it is. My favourite YouTube channel at the moment is Goon Squad, for those that watch it, watching those two young twins putting cars back together. I'm not a car nut, but I really like the ingenuity of those young ones. Aaron says, I'm in the same position, being a permanent resident since 2004, been waiting 14 months, already for citizenship. Shit. So that means next Australia Day probably, mate. All the best. JC, I'm listening while going for a walk. I didn't know you could chew gum at the same time there, JC. Well done. He's our thin blue line, and we're thinking about guys like you at the moment, JC. Not the enemy at all. Kiwi, ex-Raffy, police officer, injured in the course of duty. Yeah, I'll stay in the line with you, mate. As long as I can get paid in donuts. Peter Cram, bugger, I didn't even realise you replied to that, Lauren. There you go. Culjano, I think it is. Sorry if I go wrong with your names, team. It's all Democrats calling for defunding the police, and they say they want social workers to police the community. Yeah. Social justice warrior walks over to someone, who's already knocked off two people. Stop, or I'll say stop again after I run and lock myself in a car. Yeah, that's going to work. Tommy, yeah. Hey, Kaz failed medical this year because of a shoulder injury. Man, sorry, dude. Looking forward to going straight into infantry next year. Keep it up, mate. Dave D can sew his leg back on, and he's made it back in, and he's going to be a representative of the Queen. So, mate, you keep at it, and you should be fine. Stickman, they're the ones who will still call the police when someone throws a brick at them. Well, it was funny. Someone in the US, one of the celebrities, was talking about, that it's a good thing that was going on. And then someone returned and said something about, yeah, we're going to come to your neighborhood. And he's going, you don't go and tear neighborhoods up. That's wrong. And started shitting himself thinking he was going to come and get his house ruined. I'd love to see the celebrities in Hollywood. What would happen if their houses were now getting bricks thrown through their windows? Would they still be as believing? Don't think so. Kaz, what are your thoughts on snipers? Look, you'll know whether you want to be a sniper. I never wanted to be a sniper. I think I did at the very start. And then you realise it's just another skill set within the military. I definitely do not recommend anyone say that they want to be a sniper when you go to enlist in the army. Because if you say you want to come and join infantry, for example, and I've explained this one ad nauseum, really, that what you're saying is, I want to come on the big adventure. I want to be in a mission-orientated team where my life is about fitness, Mexican food, going outfield, and making my arms bigger as I chase women. Okay, I get it. Just don't drink and drive. But if you say you want to be a sniper, you're not saying you're coming for the adventure. You say you want to leapfrog into a role where you can get as close as you can in the fight to one shot, one kill. You want to go out and just hurt people. That might think they've got something wrong with your psyche. So keep that one in the back of your mind, and just let them know that you want to join military. After that, you're going to change your mind 100 times. You might want to go to Mortars instead because your best mates are there. You might want to go to 2 Commander. You might want to go to SASR. You might want to stay in bloody Bravo company. You're only making decisions on what your intellect of the army is right now. And believe me, it's not like the movies. It's not. Make sure you get your sniper undies on too, if you're going to be one. JC, don't get me started on defunding the police. Man, they're already under bloody funded as it is. New York City, they've said they're going to defund by $1 billion. What the hell is going on? There's already nearly 400 and something thousand people that have out of the village from New York because of all this shit that's been going on, and because of the state tax being crippling, and because Governor Cuomo, told all the old people to go to the retirement homes where they got absolutely axed by Corona. And then he even said, I wouldn't send my mum there. And now all of a sudden he's turning and saying other people, are of lower grit. What a two-faced bastard. Yonis, you got protection. Liam, there's a bit of misunderstanding with the defund the police. The argument is that they are having to do the job they would be best suited to socially care, etc., and funding should be directed that way. No, Liam, it's honestly, mate, they're trying to change it around now because they've seen that the entire country is going, what you talking about, Cletus? They look like morons. So now they're trying to say that's not exactly what they mean. It's exactly what they mean. And what would it cost to implement that? These people have to be paid who are going to take over. They're going to have no law structure to back them up. And they already said, federal, can we have $45 million to help set it up? Nope. They're going to end up with the law-abiding people turning on them if they're not careful, and they'll see a real riot they can't stop. Luke Howe, hey, got my enlistment for infantry on the 26th of August. Again, we've already been talking about that, Luke. You've got the force. It's one of the best times you can possibly join. The year is almost over for regular army. Okay, so when you go, by the time you get in there, the instructors are knackered and you can get stuff past them. They're getting ready for postings and promotions. And then you're going to be squatting over Christmas where you're going to get sent home. And then you're going to come back, finish off your training in the hottest time of the year at School of Infantry, which sucks as well, especially the defensive module. And then you're going to walk in the battalion when the initial chaos of the start of the year is over. Well done. Mason, currently at the stage where I'm sending my records and waiting for the reference. Was in Darwin. There's craziness there. Was in Darwin at Robinson Barracks in 2016. Was mainly curious if you ever worked with anyone that did this, if it's common. Currently the step where I'm sending all my records and waiting for references. Was in Darwin. I don't know what the context of that is, mate. So you were in the military at the time? References you trying to stay in? I'm not sure what you're talking about, mate. Yonis, welcome everyone to the orgy. Very exciting. Look, it is. And that time was going to go bloody quick. That's a lot of KFC between now and then. And I'm telling you now, the people that turned up to the School of Infantry, yesterday, turned up today, and a couple of them failed already after being graduating from Kapuka on Friday and have already failed their push-ups. Get down. Don't have excuses. They got 26 push-ups. That's not enough. That's a fail. 26 push-ups mean you will not be able to navigate the activities. You probably would not be able to get through the School of Infantry obstacle course, which is nearly 1 kilometre long, the very first thing that you go past as you go through the gate to Lone Pine Barracks. The more work you do now, the pain you go through now will prevent the pain you go through later. And it might mean you don't even start a course until you get yourself into shape. And getting into shape when the fuse is that short is really tough. Tough indeed. We've got 88 on. 88, two fat ladies. Stickman. JC, sadly, channels I watched for a decade started posting propaganda. That really made me sick, Sticky. What we're seeing is a real of channels trying to get behind the census to look popular, to look woke. We're seeing Instagram, black screen, black screen, black screen, black screen. Not this guy. I don't support that bullshit, because I don't believe in it, because I know that JC, Stickman, I'd love to have a conversation with JC offline where we could compare stats, knowledge, etc., the real truth, what's happening. You'd be shocked by it. Madison, not sure if that's one would stick, Dave. I'm not sure what that's about. Lauren, lots of virtue signaling going on right now, and people will hold you to that. Like we say, I love everyone. I don't care what color you are, but what I want you to do is have a good life, and don't be used as someone else's stick of persuasion while they stand behind you and dodge the what you receive. Mr. Buckaroony, the best looking ex-Raffy, bloody cop that we've got in the military. Raffy, Army, Signals. He's got a great channel too. He rang me today, or was it yesterday, Mr. Buckaroony? And I had one of my mates over who was a cop. It was Townsville. Your connection is unstable. Please wait. That sounds like fake news right there. South is fishing. Hey, Kaz got expelled from school. Can I still go to the army? Look, South is fishing. If you get expelled, your record will be expunged, but you still need a pass in English and maths at least year 10. And the 2nd Commando Regiment took over the para role. They already had the people there that were better trained method. And so they decided that we could save millions of dollars. Uh-oh. Is the stream starting to suffer? Sound? So they decided that we could save some of the casualties that happened from 3RAR doing their fast descent shoots, hitting the ground like a kangaroo, getting hit by a Land Cruiser. And, it was a good role. It was a partisan role. It's lagging. Good now. Stream's fine. I can just see it keeps coming up on the screen there, and I've seen the viewers just go brrr. Now we've got more likes than what we have people watching. We're fighting through. Gun go. Rifles go. Scouts go. That's the old cycle. Okay. Alpha go. Bravo go. Doesn't sound as interesting, does it? Will Clifton, mostly push-ups at your pace. Do 80 at Singleton to be average. Look, push-ups is one of those things you have to do for speed when it's a test, and you do it for muscular endurance. That's what you do it for. So that you can get up, get to the next position, 5 meters, run down, call of survey and fire, and you can do that in repetition. and you need to be able to do that over and over again. The less you can do, the quicker the shutters come in, and you start thinking about getting breath back, and all of a sudden your ability to decipher information, and you start to get audio shut trained arcs, and you make yourself a liability. We've got the man, Ben Cooper. What's the difference between 3RR and COVID? COVID is airborne. Oh, I wish we had that one before. That's awesome. That's really good. Regiment, second battalion that was there of the Australian Regular Army, modern Regular Army. Connection, unstable. Warning, Robinson, something we've said earlier has affected the algorithm. We're going to push it until it blows, she said. Some of these young lads are kidding themselves, talking about joining SAS and can't pass a basic fitness test. The next person that asks about SAS needs to be throat punched. It's true. Stop worrying about SASR and commandos. And I tell you, half you blokes, if you got in there and you saw the guys that were going for the DRS system, you'd go, holy shit, I'm not one of them. We've already got one of our good soldiers, one of our good lads who's at the School of Infantry who got back squatted, and he was glad to get back squatted just so he could get back with normal people because he was in a commando platoon and was sick of coming last. Kalano, what's your thoughts on the controversial ADF internal explanation of the difference between males and females? It's not controversial. It's a fact. Females, their body's completely different. It's made for bearing children, stronger abdominal muscles, less on the shoulders. Everyone knows about it. They know it's not. They know it's true as well. I don't understand where the controversy comes from. I haven't actually looked on the Facebook. Apparently, there's all sorts of dramas and fireworks going down over that. It's like there is an allergy to the truth. People seem to think that we're owed something, which we're not. People forget when they get into the military that the end state is that you're preparing for the worst day of your life. Will you survive the test? Don't know. Is it a failed mission if you don't make it back? No, it's not. It can be a success. Villas Bretno, 1,200 Australian dead in a night. And that was classed as success. What's your thoughts on China? I love the food, the authentic Australian Chinese food. I think they're making a big mistake. China's starting to lock horns at the moment in not just the South China Seas, where they've got more enemies than bloody Epstein, but now they're pushing it with India. India is not a country you want to push it with. They're not going to back out. They're not going to back down at all. And as soon as you get into a drama and you start looking this way, other people are going to start coming around and blue nights going down, red nights going down, red nights going down, down, down. We've seen it before. W, uno. Starts with the antagonist, and then it gets finished, always by the same country, the USA. God bless their souls. The squirrels. Kaz, do you have any comments on the allegations that the ADF is taking priority on hiring females? It's absolutely true. It's not an allegation. It's not. It's happening. But only for those that are trying to get in is a very small number as well. They have been infected by the quota, and it's not just for female soldiers. There is a lot of pressure that is happening on the militaries and all enterprises in the world, not just Australia, to include and bring wokeness. And it is the quickest way to undermine the actual institution and potentially prevent people that you need to be there from actually applying. People need to remember this is something you strive to be, not something that comes down to your level. It's hard for everyone. And you want to know that when you look to left and right, they've got your back, and they're qualified and deserve to be there. Otherwise, we may not really feel too confident about moving forward. I'll give you an example. Imagine if they had a quota on medics. Stoddy, is he still here? There he is, Michael Stott. If you've got a medic and there's a quota of medics and they're not that fit and they're not that strong and they're a little bit scared and they don't like the sight of blood, Now, what's going to happen when you need to get pulled out of there? You're going to go, well, I'm not going to put myself in danger if I know that I get hit one of the 5 places. 1, 2, 3, left leg, right leg. If I get hit one of those areas or in between them, the centre wicket, is there going to be someone there to patch me up, take me to Germany, and then get me home ASAP so I've got enough time to say, I love you, Mum? If not, then we'll stop taking risks. You got to feel backed up. Aussie car guy, what did the Army change? Why did they change their DPCU outfit? Probably someone getting paid, to change it up. I don't see there's a reason to ever change it. Modify it, put the extra pockets in, do whatever you need to do. There's no need to change it. The DPCU is fantastic. That uniform up there, once that's covered in wet, filth, grime, you look like ninjas. Fits in with everything. Cast thoughts on joining military in peacetime. It's a good time to join. It's better to be trained in peacetime so you're ready for when the real shit comes. You don't want to get dropped straight into it, but you can also feel like, am I training for the big day that's never coming? And then be nervous when the big day comes. It's hard work because we train in peace for what we're going to do in conflict. Kynan, got feed, told I am going for my interview session and hopefully medical. I hope you do too, mate. Let us know how you go. Ming, ADF women is like Asians and Harvard. Spartan mouth. That's a. I listened to Spartan mouth, but they were man lovers, the Spartans. What are you trying to say, Spartan mouth? You like the taste of some young guy? I listened to the whole leftist at school carrying on all day. I love kicking back and listening to these streams and having my brain cells regenerate. What's to go with enlistment and dual citizenship? I think you can do it because we've got lateral transfers. I don't think it's a drama. Luke Howard, there's a commando documentary for Australians on YouTube, and the guys that got selected did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 15 pull-ups, and 13 on the beep test. I used to do the same. Southern fishing. When you're in, the other thing is, you got to remember the push-ups that the 2 commando guys too do, they're cadence push-ups. Okay, they're cadence push-ups. That's not just how many you get out in 2 minutes. All right, so just remember that one. Southern fishing. When you were in the Army, do you think you could get an SF? I talk too much, Southers. Honestly. I went to in 1999. I went to go for SASR. I'd come off my subject to for section commander to go and do that. I came back. I was on that. We got told while we were doing just before we did the speed march, the 28-kilometer speed march in packs. Pull out, 2nd Battalion, you're going to East Timor, 99 Interfet. And I was like, I want to go on operations more than I want to go for special forces, but I don't want to look like a quitter. And I was halfway through that march and my foot started to bloody swell. It felt like Rock Hudson or Elton John's butthole. And after payday, and I decided, you know what, I'm going overseas. So I said, the vehicle came along. What do you want, son? I said, I'm pulling out. Okay, why? What's wrong with you? I went, no, nothing's wrong with me. I just decided that I want to go on operations instead. So I took that. No dramas. They said you can come back and try the barrier test again because not everyone gets told they can do that. But when I came back, I went to the 2nd Battalion ball. I met a beautiful young woman. Went out with her for a couple of years. That went south. And then I went out with another girl after that, just never thought about it again. The Special Forces is about this, guys. You got to have your head in the right place. You got to have you got to have everything ready to go. You got to have your administration down pat, no distractions. Otherwise you'll fail. You don't go there for the money. You marry those units because I'll ask as much as you can give and more, and you better be ready. And you get a lot of time to question yourself. No, I wouldn't have been good in Special Forces. You know what? I loved being in a battalion. I loved being in a rifle platoon. It's amazing. It's great. It's light on the fizz. Sparkmouth, I'll listen to the okay, yeah, got that one. Cameron Quirk. I think I know Cameron Quirk. As you said, there's an issue with wokeness with the ADF. Is that the fault of the Minister of Defence? Yes. Or the Chief of the Army? Both. Because he shouldn't have given in. We expect moral courage from our military commanders to say, no, stay in your goddamn lane. That's what they've said to us our whole careers. We get told if you bring ill repute on the army, you get charged. And then we'll hear an officer come out and say something complete stupid or smack. And you're going, how come that dude ain't getting charged? Anyway, folks, maybe try Googling before some of these questions. I just answer what comes in front of me. As you can see here, I have no safety net. You guys could lure me into a trap where you just ask a question. Before you know it, you get the answer, and I'm like, oh, shit, I've just changed my life. Right. Yonis, Luke, one bloke did 120 push-ups, no stopping in between, absolutely slated the PT. Yep. JEC. Shouldn't fix what ain't broken, Kaz. That's right, man. The Australian digger is famous for being able to do more with less. The section commander, fantastic. Platoon sergeants, awesome. I think anything above platoon sergeant, platoon commander, major's a pretty good rank too. CSM, not so much. You're dislocated from the lads. It's great seeing the faces every day. There you go. You turn up. What have you been up to today, you dickheads? Sarge, there's something you need to know. It's Tuesday night. Chances are that's ladies' night in Townsville. What's happened? She's still in my closet. All right, let her out or put some holes so she can breathe. You make a rule, I'll break it. Delta, the US is best of the best. Kaz, how have things been for you? Look, they've been okay, mate. I can't complain. I can't complain. And what I'm going to say here, you're going to hear people, Aiden, how you going, mate? Nutsu Cow, thank you very much for your donation, mate. Thank you. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about DVA. And there's a lot of cases that have slipped through, through the fingers of common sense to look after veterans, and there's been catastrophic effect because of that. But I'm going to tell you, as a retired veteran who's got my own problems, and not just of the head, also lumbar spondylosis and not irritable bowel. Shit, someone tell me what my arse disease is. It was one of the reasons I got kicked out. Oh, shit. Anyway, I bleed from the clacker despite the fact that I've never had a cabin boy or a Navy guy up there. And when that's bad, it's really bad, really bad. It took a little while, but DVA came in like a safety net, and they've come in under me, and my family, although we're disenfranchised, my daughter is supported, and the food that goes on her fork is because of DVA and because of ComSuper coming in to look after this veteran. So thank you for paying your tax. Thank you to ComSuper and DVA, because now I can just worry about getting my head right, keeping away from the things that keep me out of trouble, speaking to you and assisting you so I can give my life meaningful outlets. All right. And thanks for keeping me sort of alive, because without that, I'd be fucked. JC, my old RAF police instructor just got promoted to WAFAF, first female ever, Fiona. I've never met an unattractive Fiona. That's one of those names that usually sits on pretty girls. Well done, JC. Tell her I said g'day. Why didn't you get CSM? Well, Bullfrog, I was a qualified infantry CSM, okay, but there was a guy called Slattery, and I was meant to be going on the sub one, which would have put me in the slot, qualified, etc., to go and be the CSM, the Warrant Officer Class 2. And when Ted Slattery came up and was, I really, really need that, and I really, really need it now, but I was the priority for that role, I said, okay, Ted, if you want it, and it's good for your family, and I'd rather be around the soldiers, the instructors, bush, fitness and shooting, by all means, mate. So I went over to my commander, and through the chain of command, Ops changed Ted to be the warrant officer, and Kaz got to stay as a sergeant without doing the course. And I just went about life as normal with the lads. And what's more is, just after that, that was when they said, because of my not irritable bowel, ulcerative colitis of the clacker, Elton John phenomenon, okay, that basically I was no longer deployable. So that was when I took a second hit as well and started thinking, shit, what the hell do I do now? This is what my life is about. But I was quite happy with being a sergeant. I reckon it's the best rank in the army. Benny, mate, in defence of DVA, imagine how many frigging claims they get from people claiming PTSD for changing a tyre up at high range. Thought that mess must be a nightmare. Oh, mate. And it's deliberately made difficult, I'm sure there, Benny. And also the lack of, transparency in the system. And the fact that no one knows how to do it until you get out, and it's too late, because then you've already got the stress up here. And remember, your documents, like my documents, would have been carbon paper that looked like a rag that had been used for masturbation on an operational trip to Timor. And they're saying, get a photocopy of that. You're going, how do I do that? All at the same time while your life is crumbling around you. They've got a hard job, mate. They're all only ever met with, help me now. We've got Cooper Fox here. Not Sue Cow to you. Don't think you saw my comments, mate. So just making sure we appreciate you out here in the bush. Buy yourself something nice. I'm going to buy a Demtel ShamWow G-string with that $5 there, Mr. Cooper Fox. Thank you very much, mate. You're out bush. So you'd know, like everyone else, that the cold is a lot worse than the heat. You don't walk out into the heat team going, oh, shit, here we go. But I tell you what, when you're walking out into the cold, and a little bit of ASMR for Lauren here, the sound of rain landed on the guy in front of you who's trying to claim that he's already twisted his ankle. He hasn't. Noxious enchant bite. The cold sucks, team. It feels like divorce. Unexpected divorce. That's what it feels like. Okay, Kaz, I wanted to know what your typical day like is in the infantry and what the biggest challenges you face during your time. Jesse. Well, let's start. And Oliver, I see you down there. Please, sir, can I have some more? No, you can't. Enough porridge for you. So the question was, what's a typical day? We've said this one a bunch of times, team. You turn up at 7:20 in the morning. Don't be late. There'll be a roll call. And then you'll be told what the deal is. And then from there, what you're going to do is go away for 45 minutes to an hour doing PT every day. When you go away and do that with section commanders, or worst case scenario, taken away and given to PDIs who don't care if you scream, then you'll come back from that. You'll spend an hour with either your wife, someone else's wife, a girlfriend, or a buddy, having a cup of coffee, get changed, come back, get your weapon, dress of the day, and you'll train until you get an hour off at lunch or just after lunch. And then you'll come back from that and you'll try to say, we've worked so hard today. Can we get off early so I can go and physically train again by myself to prepare me for tomorrow? No, we're going to do weapons again. Okay, we do that. And then we try to get knocked off as early as possible. Then at the end of the day, you get with any number, one of the 30 blokes that you serve with, and you go to the gym, you go and have a cup of coffee, you go to the Strand, you go for a run, you go and buy a new car, you go and try to chase the girls, you go shopping for another denim jacket like this one in summer. You do whatever you want. It is the perfect life. It's bloody amazing. And you get nearly 12 weeks off a year. Fantastic. Scott Dunstan. Bam. Thank you, Nutsu Cow, for admitting that I'm a man. Thanks, Scotty. And I'm going to spend that one on a toothbrush. On a black and gold toothbrush. That's what I'm going to spend that on. MSC, Cooper Fox. How much date do you have to be watching to be watching YouTube in data to be watching YouTube in the bush. Well, you all know what's that, JC, sorry. What was that, pre-op or post-op, Bucko? Is Bucko going to operation? Post. Sometimes you're not far from a training environment, and he might even be on a course where he is staff, where he has got data, or he's in a location where he might be going back to an administrational area. So we're not sure of the context. So you are aware, if you're in the military, you are not allowed to have a YouTube channel. You are not allowed to go on Facebook and say, my name is, and this is what I think. You can't do any of that. You cannot have a political or social justice voice at all, unless you're an Aboriginal female sailor, and she got away with all of it, saying all the worst stuff, including burn the flag. She got away that she should have been kicked out that day. Yeah. Jesse, I wish I had your girl, Jesse's girl. Cheers for the advice, Kaz. No problems, mate. Happy to help, and Nutsu cow to you. Lightfoot, that $5 I'm going to spend on a police piece of Lego while I can. Did you know that? What we're talking about today, did you know that things have got so ridiculous that Lego has ceased now making firemen and police Lego for the moment because they think it's offensive? What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit. Could you imagine the fear if people like the quality of JC, of Bucko, of guys like that went, you know what? You want no cops? Great, no worries. Magazine out. There's my weapon. See you in 2 weeks. Sick leave. But every single one of them did it. We would be screaming from the ramparts, come back, come back. Appreciate the blue line you've got that protects you in your sleep, because without it, you'd have chaos. There's people absolutely in Minnesota. There's people absolutely in New York and Los Angeles just waiting for them to down tools for a little while, and you're going to have mayhem. If you don't believe me, see what happened Memorial Day, okay, every year in Chicago, where the gangsters wait until the fireworks are going up so they can carry out their crimes. It's disgusting. We've got Aiden there. Throws $5 up there. Hey, mate, I have a medical condition that requires medication at around 40 years old. Would that be a problem applying for infantry at 18 years old? Wait a sec, mate. What's your cow? I'll buy some chewing tobacco with that and give it to a girl with a pretty smile. This might be a new part where we actually talk about what we're going to fund. Hey, mate, I have a medical condition that requires medication at around 40 years old. Okay. Would that be a problem applying for infantry at 18 years old? I don't know. It would depend what it is. It really would. Because remember, you're also competing with the person beside you that may have nothing wrong with them. So if there's only one position, or there's two positions, there's you and one other person, they might say, take them both. We'll worry about it later. Is it going to cost us money? Is it going to cost us this guy? Is it going to worsen his condition? The assessment session will sort all of that out for you. If you have anything wrong with your team, you need to go all the way through until a medical practitioner, not someone you know, not me, not someone on Facebook telling you can't, go until they say stop, right? And then ask them, is there anything way around it? Lightfoot, JC, what's going on? I can see Mucho Wanga there. Has someone said something? I've never seen that response from JC. What'd someone say? I hope it wasn't me. Is the Army currently deployed? How often do you deploy? Cav especially. Cav and protected mobility, mate, they're one and the same almost with infantry. They go wherever we go for protected mobility, firepower, etc. But the infantry has picked up a lot of mechanised and motorised. So a lot of that will be independent once they've actually got that in place, and we have the infantry fighting vehicles that have done their tactical courses, which is not the same as Transport Corps. Once they have an armoured vehicle ticket, that doesn't mean that they are the same as Armoured Corps, despite the fact that they are in a metallic protected frame. They are administrational tactical move, but not tactical necessary employment as a vehicle commander. So operations, we're not in an operational army at the moment. We've got people overseas, sure. Okay, we have. But the blood has run back to the major organs. And at the moment, it is wait, stand by. And what would it take for us to go overseas again? I couldn't imagine what it'd be. You know, we've got Donald Trump, the commander-in-chief, and he's now wants a peacetime army. He wants, if you fall in a US uniform, he wants you to be protecting, you know, the USA, not fighting overseas for another cause that you've been asked to and they're not appreciated for. So no one knows what's coming. No one. Yep. Mr. Buccarini, how's recovery going, JC? Because JC just gone for his information on his third operation, so to speak, for his shoulder, was injured in the line of duty. JC, I'm angry at the Lego and everything going on. People are treating all police like they are all racist. I've just about had enough of reading and listening to the bullshit that is being said lately. Well, JC and anyone else, put a thumb in right there in comments. I'm telling you right now, JC, hand in the air, oath and affirmation, I stand by our thin blue line. I am an advocate for what you do for me, what you do for my family, and I give you the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise in every case. You were there when I am sleeping. You have my word that you have my utmost respect, and myself and my daughter wave at every cop car that comes past. So you understand there is good people that have your back the whole way, bro. You know, and every time you see something stupid, JC, I want you to remember something else. If I put up a video of the cutest Labrador puppies, I'm still going to get a massive amount of people who give a thumbs down. So don't let that worry you. The right people are supporting you, and the people that don't, they just make themselves stand out and make themselves easy to get caught. Yeah. JC, and that's why you have more respect too, Kaz. Thanks. See this man love going on. The bullfrog. So I have a 30-year military career and not so much as leave the country. No. Well, I had a 24-year career and I went over 4 times. There was people before me that had nearly 30-year careers, right, that had never been overseas, right? You don't know. You just don't know what's coming up, man. But don't think that just by going overseas that's well, it is a fantastic thing. If you come back and your friends come back as well, it knits you together forever under the title of veteran. But it gives you a lot being in the military. I'm going to explain something else because we've got to go in a second. And JC and Dave D and Lauren and Mr. Buckaroony, is he still there? I'd love you to be able to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this one. But I'm going to tell you something. Amongst men especially, there is a time when we get in our 40s where we start to face the world, our own mortality, and what we've achieved. Believe me, team, this will happen to every one of you, especially guys. And what will happen is if you lead a life where you're an accountant, whether you do something that is not exciting, so to speak, then you'll start to question yourself of what you've achieved when you get in your 40s. And that happens to almost all men. And it can be a life-taking situation by your own hand. The military is one of those things. When you look back on a 20-plus year career, you've absolutely rinsed the sponge and got everything you can out of life. You've been around 30 other blokes. You know, you've trained all the time. You've had subsidized rent. You've had free medical. You know, you've been involved in all the exciting situations, whether it's been in helicopters, whether it's been in naval ships, sleeping in armored fighting vehicles while sucking back on diesel fumes, being in trucks, having people's wives smile at you, watching them get a push off their husband for winking at the dirty guys covered in rain, ticks, and bloody leeches, going overseas in planes or boats as well, shooting weapon systems that are in the movies and you can actually explain to people it's not as exciting as it looks, doing so much cool shit and bonding that by the time you get to 45 and you've got it out of your system, you should be able to say, the rest of my life, whether you did it as a cop, fireman, soldier, Navy, you should be able to then say, you know what, for the rest of my life, all I need to do is be into photography, whether that be on my phone, whether that be I'm going to have a coffee van. Keep it simple. If I need another $200, I just stay in the rain a bit fucking longer. Don't overcomplicate your life, but you're not going to have a boring first half of your life and then suddenly make it exciting because you save money, right, for the second half. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Make the first half of your life exciting, the first life. And then when you get to 45, you've got all these stories you can talk about. You don't want to get to 45, have your grandkid on your leg and go, what have you done, Pop? What was the exciting thing? And you go, got sex from your grandma 22 years ago in public. Anyway, and I'm sure most old blokes, they look relaxed for a reason because they're living their second life. It's time to take it easy. Dave D, your career is different to your vocational calling. I've done half my career working out how to get people into affordable homes. Now I've started serving to complement my contribution to the, finish the sentence, Dave, world. There you go. And to yourself, of course. Dave D was hitting one of the hardest times of his life, becoming old, and then jumps out of a tree at 3 foot and managed to basically cut his leg off catastrophically in front of his kid, 2 weeks before joining the military. And then what he does, he goes back and works on that, gets fit, leaves his excuses at home, has some spinach, Popeye, and he's back. He's back, Jerry. He's going to have a good life. And he deserved every second of it. He's the best version of himself. His missus must think he's going to cheat. He's better than what he was 10 years ago. Life's there to be lived. Grab it. There's no guarantees in this life. There's no promises. And you don't deserve shit. You make your own luck. And it can end that quick. All right? So enjoy it. Officer cadets don't get a salute, and neither do cadets. Nope. I accidentally saluted a cadet once, and I was like, God, give it back. Give it back. I don't salute you. That was at the School of Infantry. Peter Cram, thank you for being here with us and for us, Kaz. No problems there, Peter. I do this for me, but also for you. It's important that we mentor you through these times to make a better version of you so that my friends and my friends that are commanders have a better product to work with. You deserve to know. You're a volunteer. Okay, so just wondering if you could share your thoughts on Army Reserve Officer. I think it's fantastic. If you've come across them, I've trained a lot of them. And what an OSB is like, Officer Selection Board, well, you've got a guy 2 above you, Dave D, that's done one. Just picture going in there with 10, 12 men and women. You better be able to public speak. You better be able to answer. If I was sitting on the other side there, I could have a casual conversation with you. And I should be able to say, why do you want to be an officer? What's wrong with being NOR? What have you done in the past that makes you an officer? How do I know you just haven't got a personality disorder? Give me an example. Who's your favorite command from history? You can't answer? So you think it's you. You don't want to learn from the past? You go in there prepared, and then you'll be laughing. Learn to know when to shut your mouth, when to open your ears, when to support the ship, and when to lead it. Yep. Madison, no more from you. Not so Cal. I'm going to spend that on dandruff shampoo when it comes around to summer. Kaz, what should I take to Kapuka that's not on the list? Also, get a Macca's coffee from me. If you ever order a burger, I'll make it perfect for you. I love the new fillet of fish that's got the tomato and lettuce stuff on there. Beautiful. Thank you, my dear. What you should take with you, Madison, is some photos of special things, some things that can put on the board that makes you a human as opposed to a number, which they will see you as at Kapuka, yeah? So when you go there, also take writing gear so you can write to your grandmother, grandfather, the people that you think are the proudest of you. Because when they get a letter in the mailbox, they're going to be stoked. And they've got something they can keep forever. That was the letter that Madison gave to us. We knew she could do it, and she proved she could. And you know what? In her most down times, she thought of me. What a beautiful way. So have a picture of a dog, have a picture of something cool, a pastime, which makes an instructor when you're not there, when you're off doing drill or something, and they walk in there and go, what a nice dog. What a lovely family. Because I'm telling you now, as an instructor that I've been multiple times, I've become a personal with you, where I start to see you as a human being, where I start to think, oh, no, I can't treat that person like shit because they look like they've got a lovely family. And if they've got a lovely family that's there at their graduation, I don't want them looking at me and she goes, he's the arsehole. You don't want that. You be professional. Benny Cooper, if you have the ask a question, you're probably not ready for full-time infantry. Guys and gals, I tell you, we've got guys right now, and thanks for that, Ben. We've got people right now at the School of Infantry that have just graduated like that from Kapuka that have already shown they weren't ready for the School of Infantry. It's no joke. No one has an easy time at Singleton. If it's not the training, it's the weather, it's a mathematical equation. Will you get a spiral fracture after jumping off an A-frame? You are going to be either freezing cold, boiling hot, but fucking fatigued, because the fitter you are, the more you do. You carry people, and that's where the resentment comes from. Ben was always a fit guy. I was always a fit guy, but I was a small guy. Ben's a lot bigger. But when you are fit and you've done your bit and you've done the preparation, but then you have to carry someone who didn't prepare, and I don't mean on your shoulder carry, I mean you're getting in the shit for what they can't do, for their failures. You're trying to drag them. You might be carrying their weapon system. You might be making excuses for their errors. You might be suffering their wrath because they're failing. You go in prepared. You don't want anyone carrying your lunch for you. Yeah? You never need to use someone else's water. You carry your own crap. We're going to get out of here, team. We'll let you guys go and watch the rerun of Big Brother. And I've got some really good news. I've got a mate who was at Rwanda with me, who was in my section with me for Kaniowi Bay. He's one of my brothers that I catch up with every Anzac Day, and he's coming to stay the night here tomorrow on the lounge, not with my bed. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him. I might even crack 2 beers, which would give a hangover to me these days. But, the mateship, the brotherhood, I'm looking forward to it. I'm watching Band of Brothers with my 14-year-old tonight. That's a great show. Who's your favourite actor in that one? Yeah. Ganane. He's one of my favourite. Best show ever. It was like a realistic version of Saving Private Ryan with no love story. It was amazing. Who's that, Kaz? Moon. Jason Honeyman. Yeah. Mr. Buckaroony, look after yourselves, folks. Stay positive. Mr. Buckaroony, when are you on again? Bucko, let us know when you're going to be on again, and we might rush over and see if we can't all make it to one of your streams, mate, because you're very loyal to ours. And, by the way, I've decided this will be going, my favourite photo, of Jesse's girl, we might call it, or we might call it Hillary. That's going to go to one of our Patreon members. Yeah, my favourite photo, but it is like a hybrid. It looks a little bit like a painting, but that's because of the edit I did on it to give it a unique look. So I'll be sending that out to one of our Patreon members. Lauren, I'll be speaking to you, and we'll decide who's going to get that one. Okay, and what the conditions are to get it. We might do that every now and then, just to send out something nice to people. And we've just heard also, for those that haven't seen the video that we put out, was it yesterday or the day before, that Adam that received our Goodwill, the $1,600 white goods package from In the Trenches with Kaz, that he's got those things and he is over the moon that we cared about him. So well done, In the Trenches with Kaz. Well done to the Patreon contributors. And we've really made a difference to that bloke's life. I don't know him, but he seemed like a stand-up lad, It was a real pleasure. And he was absolutely stoked. And I said, good on you. You should be proud of yourselves. We make a difference where people least expect. So good on you. Don't get yourself in the shit. If you see people getting involved in this bullshit that's going on, don't get involved, because there's two sides to this story, and I know both sides. And I tell you what, you're only hearing one. It's not worth ending your future over something bullshit. This is not the horse you want to back. Stand back, watch it, but don't get involved, because it's a lot of fake news. All right, team, let's take it easy. Thank you very much for the Nutsu cows, and let's put that fart back in the ass if we can. See you later. Kevin Bacon. He'll bring dance to your town. See you later. Stay safe. Mucho respecto. And thank you very much to Benny, and also to the moderators and all those that donated for the ShamWow that I'm going to get on eBay in a minute. See you later, Jay Hayes. Stay frosty, Kaz. Like a nipple in winter. See you later.